Hey everyone, it's Leona Nicole Black and I am back for the second half of our conversation on Blackness, intuition and tarot. I'm aware this is like part 3 on YouTube just because I had to split up the previous video. But this is going to be the second part of the conversation. So today I'm going to be talking about how I practice tarot, how I see it, what my kind of philosophy around tarot is, the kind of questions I ask. I'm going to be talking about the specific decks and showing you cards. I'm going to talk about blackness and representation and some suggestions for how I might use tarot within a black context for conversations around love, personal growth and healing. Let's get into it. I am an empathic and intuitive tarot reader, and by that I mean I use my intuition in terms of my reading of the cards, my engagement with the cards, the way I pull cards, but also as an empath I pick up on people's feelings and people's energy so easily, and so that informs my experience of the cards when I'm reading for other people and the story that I'm able to tell and the advice I give. I am not a predictive tarot reader. That's not how I use the art, the practice. I'm aware that tarot can be used for that purpose, but it just does not align with my philosophy of tarot. I feel like tarot for me is about the present and our highest good, and I feel like whatever happens in the future is dependent on the configuration of decisions we make now, here and now. And so I'm interested in using tarot to ask the questions about how I can improve my personal current circumstances in the present to immediate future. So I'm talking weeks to months. I don't tend to ask timing questions in tarot, if I'm honest. I have done so for myself once, and it was very clear and it was accurate too. But I feel by nature I can be a person that's either very fixed in the past or very future focused, and I'm really trying to be deliberate right now about being grounded in my present reality, not missing out on my life, not always waiting for this future moment of fulfillment or enjoyment or achievement. And so that's part that is being infused in the way I practice tarot at the moment. So it's a very kind of present time practice. One of the other reasons I practice tarot in that way is because I see it as a snapshot, in the sense that it tells us where we're at right now, our environment, potential outcomes, if we were to continue with the actions that we're currently doing. The moment you take action on a reading or you do anything in your life, that snapshot changes. The outcome, the picture, the characters, all of that is in flux, it's in flow. I don't see it as a static thing. So I think there is some difficulty in some ways around predictive reading, or I am not an experienced enough astrologer at the moment to be able to combine those things. So for me it's just about, it's a tool that we use, that I use anyway, for the present moment, that is always with me as well. Okay, so it's not I get to ask one question and that's it. Whenever I want new guidance, if I have more questions, if there's other things I want to talk about, tarot is available to me to see what's happening now. You know, on one level, tarot is a puzzle that I just love. As a child, I was so into stories, and I get this like excitement just before I unfold a spread, because I'm excited about what that story is going to be. What is it going to tell me? Who are going to be the characters? And so there's that kind of very childlike joy for me in my practice. But on the other hand, I really do respect that tarot is a divination tool. I don't intend in my conversations to divorce it from the esoteric. There is something really spiritual and sacred in the practice, and I feel so connected to God and to the universe when I'm doing tarot. I think my intellectual and logical side is, you know, shocked, surprised every time I do a spread, and you know, the cards that come out, and you know, I use my intuition to pull, but the cards that come out are so meaningful and so applicable to the situation. It's just like I'm still in that wow, this really works stage. And so I love that. I also love having that direct connection to God for me, that nobody else mediates that. I don't have to go to another person to hear, even myself or the universe, you know, that is always a channel that's open to me. And for me that is the most beautiful and the most pure thing. So what kind of questions do I ask in tarot? I mean, the framing of questions actually matters quite a lot to the effectiveness of your reading, and the answers that you're going to get. You know, what are the energies for this week or this month, or what do I need to know about this situation? It can be where am I at, for example, in my spiritual growth. That's a spread I really like. It can also be things like what's blocking me from increasing my income? What can I do to create more balance and security financially? That's another kind of tarot question I'm working with at the moment. So those are the types of questions I ask. Tarot can be also really good for intuitive decision making. So you can have a spread which would be what could be a likely outcome if I did X versus X, and then kind of just see the results, the energies that come out of your decisions, and you know, use your intuition to feel, you know, which way feels right to you. I also like doing love tarot readings. You know, love is really important in my life in all its various expressions, but kind of romantic, relationship, love, defo. I love the mirror spread in tarot. It's like one of my favorites, you know. So the mirror spread is where you have it's like a parallel set of cards, like, you know, like how my two hands are right now, and you have one partner and the other partner, and you'll be looking at how they're feeling in their life right now, how they're feeling towards a relationship, what they're projecting towards you, what their hopes are, what they need to work on. And I love the mirror spread because it allows you to see how much you're in balance with each other, if your goals are aligned, you know. It can even help you understand whether this person's really the right person for you in your life right now. So that's a favorite spread of mine. So working with the actual cards, one of the things that I was very aware of from observing, but also when I started practicing tarot, is just how white tarot cards are. So I'll give you an example from the first deck I bought. This is the Two of Cups. It's a partnership card, and as you can see, it's very white couple on the front of it, and the rest of the deck, you know, it represents white characteristics, white figures. As a woman who works in Black studies and diaspora studies, for me, I understand the importance of representation, and I find it, you know, let's say I'm aware of what it means to work in the context where the story of humanity is always represented in terms of whiteness. For my connection to God and the divine to be mediated by white images as well. I mean, if that's something I was critical of in terms of Christianity, then in terms of this spiritual practice, the same critique must exist there for me. So immediately I thought I really want to be working with energies, with a cultural tradition that I connect with, that resonates with me, that reflects me, that validates my experience of the world. And so I saw the Ghetto Tarot deck, but before I got that deck, because I was trying to get the money together, before I got that deck, I came across the Vision Tarot, and my goodness, it's my favorite deck. I'm in love with Vision Tarot, so I'm going to show it to you. I'm just looking for it. Okay, here it is. So this is the back of the deck, and Vision Tarot is an Indigenous American based tarot. It's based on that cultural collection of knowledge, really, Mayan, Aztec, etc. And I love the energy of these cards, so I'm going to show you some of the cards. I find them so graceful, so supportive, so healing. They're so gentle, they're so affirmative. Whenever I'm needing that, you know, that sense of compassion towards myself, this is the deck I go for. So I'll show you. This is a Nine of Cups card. In this deck is called, oh, let's try and make sure you can see it. In this deck it's called Nine of Water, and you can see this woman, she's immersed in this waterfall, and you've got all these really full cups, and it says joy at the bottom. So there's this overflowing nature in this deck, in this particular card, of love and fulfillment, and, you know, just that sense of contentment that I really love. You've got the Lovers card, so as I showed you in this deck you've got it represented by two brown people. Really beautiful card. You've got a card that's Son of Water. This would be Knight of Cups in traditional tarot, which is about an offer of love, an offer of romance, and you've got this man in this body of water, you know, fully in his emotions, the moon representing the unseen, the intuition, the feminine aspect of himself, him having something to offer and holding that cup, you know. So such a beautiful card. And then in terms of the cards that people tend to be quite fearful of, you know, the Death card, the Devil card, for example. In this deck, the Devil is represented as torment. I love this card, like love it. I love the sense of being pinned back, and it's about being trapped in your own thoughts, dealing with internal conflict, you know. This card for me, it's such a beautiful way to engage with the concepts, the associations of the, you know, the inner battle, and the torment that we sometimes are experiencing inwardly. And then we've got the Chaos card, which is the Tower in traditional tarot. So another card that people can be quite fearful of. I love it. You've got the horse, so there's a connection with nature again. You've got the horse in the middle of this kind of forest that's been lit on fire, you know. So the Tower is about kind of rapid, quick revelation, change, things that are not supposed to be in your life kind of being removed, crumbling, changing really rapidly. And obviously a forest fire is going to create a lot of really quick change and, you know, some disruption to your life, to be honest. And but I just love how even that is represented in a way that I find just so easy to engage with, and without, it's not fear-based. One thing I love about this deck, I came across this concept in another set of oracle cards I use, and it's a love-based reality, and I've been living in that, and I just feel like this deck is completely infused with a love-based reality. Every card is coming from not the vibration of fear, but of love. Okay, so again, you've got the Death card, which in this deck is numbered, it says transformation. Okay, so again, it's just really getting to the heart of what that energy is about. It's not saying you're gonna die because you pulled this card, but the notion that there are things that are leaving your life, or there are things, you know, that are becoming new beginnings for you. Something is transitioning. Transformation card. And then even the Five of Cups card, you've got Five of Water, you've got, it says loss here, and you've got these broken cups which are kind of spilling water, and you've got the two full cups at the top, and, you know, the most foremost cards are the ones that are spilt, so it can be about focusing on what you don't have versus what you do have. So again, man, I just love this deck. I use it the most, and I just feel really quite connected to it. I feel like in terms of me using tarot as a practice for healing, it's really the ethos of these cards really represent and reflect that. So to give you an example of that, referring back to the Torment card, which I was saying that I really love, tarot typically comes with a guidance book to help you know the meanings of the cards. It's particularly useful for beginners and cards you're not familiar with. I sometimes refer to the cards, sometimes I just read intuitively, refer to the book, but I want to kind of just show you what I mean by the ethos of a love-based reality and healing in this book. So for the Torment card, which relates to the Devil in traditional tarot, it says, if you use your, this is just a part of it, if you use your energy mainly to fulfill the endless variety of your ego's desires, you tie yourself to an internal whipping post. Look at how you bind yourself, and to what? What notions enslave you? What opinions have you taken on as your own without questioning? Remember how much is simply self-created and recreated by endlessly repeating restrictive thoughts. And it goes on and on. So it's really, you know, you get a card like this, okay, and it's like, okay, this is, you know, an energy that you're working with. But the way that this guidance book is written, it's like, how do you get out of that energy? What do you do to affect change in that area? And to me, I love the way it empowers you in that way. So in case it wasn't clear, I love Vision Tarot.